One of my favorite things about chukar hunting is it can take you to beautiful places to explore and discover. And usually, easy isn't a way to describe a chukar hunt. But recently, I stumbled on to what has to be some of the easiest chukar hunting on the planet.
You ready to go, boy? You ready to go? All right, let's go. Okay. Pretty gnarly in here. But right now, I'm not walking the gnarly stuff. I'm gonna be up here walking the easy stuff. And Tubbs is on point, 155.
Okay, Tubbs is on point over to my left here. And so what I'm thinking is, I gotta walk this rim and try to keep these birds from flying off of it. Doesn't quite work.
Tubby, dead bird. I think it fell up here. Easy, go easy. Dead bird, dead bird. I'm afraid it could have gone off.
This bird I hit, as soon as it hits the ground, it runs off the cliff. So I'm afraid both those birds probably went off the cliff. So I've got a waypoint there because I'm going to be hopping down into this canyon and hunting my way back. So when we're down there and we get to this point, I'll come up here and have Tubbs look for them.
So Tubbs is out at 450. It says he's sitting. Tubbs isn't big on sitting, so I'm guessing that meant point. Oh, there, now it's changed. Now I'm getting treed. And that happens a lot, especially if they go on point and then they relocate. It'll say they're treed, but they're still on point. So, all right, just 400 yards to go. Let's see.
Tubbs has to relocate a couple times to stay with the running birds.
Dead bird, buddy. Dead bird. Dead bird right here. Attaboy. Good boy, buddy. Good boy, Tubby. Good boy. Good boy, bud. Good dog. All right. Good boy. Oh, boy. Those birds did a nice job sitting for us. That was excellent. It's kind of nice running a white dog in this environment. Especially a big, tall white dog. Because he's 275 out there. But I can still see him plain as day.
Once again, Tubbs relocates several times, but this time the birds are still a good ways away from him.
Probably more. I don't know if I want to shoot anymore.
On flat ground, these chukars like to get a little running start before they take off.
That's a good boy. Come here, bud. Good boy. Good boy. Tell you what, you have to get a broadside shot on these birds to make a clean kill. They are the toughest birds to shoot from behind. I mean, I'm pretty confident that I hit him close to full pattern. And he's just standing here looking at me. Man, they're tough. These are tough birds.
All right, walking in on another Tubbs point here, and pretty much all these sequences happen about the same way. Tubbs will be out a few hundred yards, go on point, I'll get up there, he'll relocate a few times, and we'll cover, 100, 200 yards, and then we'll finally find some birds.
Good boy, Tubby. Good boy, buddy. Good dog. Loose. Good boy. Good boy. Whew. Wow, lots of birds. Jesus Christ.
I would imagine that without a dog, you could probably walk around in this sagebrush for days and never see a bird, because they'd be just running around you. And that's one thing I notice is they can cover a lot of ground in this terrain. And if you don't have a dog there to tell you where they are, they'll just watch you walk by.
Dead bird. Dead bird. Good boy, bud. Good boy. Look at that pretty thing. Good boy. Good dog. Wow. He started working those birds at 200 yards. And it's dry as can be here too. But you notice we've got some cloud cover today. And I think there's a chance of precipitation, maybe even some snow tonight. Evidently, sending conditions are pretty solid.
Just a little side note. Chukar are way easier to hit when it's flat ground. I mean, the difference is pretty remarkable, actually.
Okay.
Okay, we've got some more running birds here. And Tubbs has pretty much seen it all at this point in his life. So he outsmarts him with the classic cutoff move. He runs up ahead of the birds and pinches them in between us.
Oh, that bird's hit. Good boy, Tubby. Good boy, bud. That's good boy. Good boy. All right, yeah, good boy.
All right, so those birds were running like crazy. This is really thin cover right here. So he's going along this way. The wind is kind of crosswinding. He can tell they're running, so he just sprints up ahead. And as soon as he knows he's ahead of them, he locks up on point. I come back, and they're between us, basically. So perfect little cutoff move there. That's good work.
Wow. Wow. Great job, buddy. Great job. Well, I'd say you could call this like chukar hunting for dummies. Or chukar hunting for wussies. Maybe that'd be the better way to put it. I've never had an easier chukar hunt, that's for sure. What we've done this morning is just walk the rim of this canyon and just been kind of picking them off. I mean, like I said, I've never had an easier chukar hunt, that's for sure. And I don't think you're gonna find an easier chukar hunt because this is completely flat ground, easy walking. Where the cover is at least decent, they will hold. Anyways, like I said, this is chukar hunting for wussies. We've got a limit now, so on the way back to the truck, I just get to enjoy watching Tubbs work some birds. There we go. So now when I get to walk into a point, I'm just kind of enjoying the moment, right? I get to just kind of walk in there, look at Tubby and see how he's pointing and think about where the birds might be and just kind of casually walk up there, watch them flush. So it's kind of a different feeling about it. There's not so much tension and maybe even anxiety if you're not shooting well or all those kinds of things. So it's kind of cool to enjoy it from that perspective too. Now we're all the way back at the truck and Tubbs says, hang on a minute, one more covey. I've had some trap coveys before, but never really one chukar hunting, and definitely not one that close. My goodness. Oh gosh. See, it's a good thing that I had my limit there for that truck covey, because we want to make sure that birds that are attracted to vehicles stay in the gene pool, because that's a pretty nice trait. You lucked out. The kids have been running all over the mountainsides and harsh country over rocks and nasty stuff, and you got to do it on the flat sagebrush. Work smarter, not harder, right, buddy? Huh? I know it's really tempting to ask me where I'm at on these hunts, but guys, don't ask. I'm not going to tell you. You know, for those of you that know where I'm at, you obviously know. You've been there. For the rest of you, hey man, that's part of hunting. That's part of the fun. It's figuring all this stuff out, learning, discovering, exploring. I mean, if you don't like that, then you're not really interested in this stuff anyway. So everybody, just enjoy the ride. All right, good morning. Well, we woke up to some weather. As you can see, we got some snow last night. So that should change things a little bit today. I've always known snow to be, to make for some pretty nice hunting conditions. So we'll get to see birds tracks and things like that today, and might even help setting conditions a little bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing what today brings. Got the watch. Well, today it's going to be Stormy's turn. Now, she's a 2-year-old litter mate to Riggs and Savvy that I actually bought back from someone who I sold her to as a puppy. The situation she was in just wasn't ideal for her, and I feel as her breeder, it's my job to step in and try to find a better situation for her. I haven't had her that long, so we're still bonding, but she's done a great job. She's got a huge nose and is very cautious on game. She doesn't cover as much ground as her other dogs, but sometimes that can be a good thing. Here she finds her first covey and hits a quick point. Damn it. I definitely made contact, but it kept flying. That one pooped, man.
Now that she's gotten her first whiff of chukars, we're off to the races. Stormy has a big nose and she never crowds birds, so sometimes the hard part with her is figuring out how far in front of her the birds are. And that's kind of the case here, where I'm walking, and I think I ended up way over 100 yards off her nose before we saw some birds.
Here we go. Dead bird, Stormy. I know where that one is. There and there. Good girl, dead bird. Dead bird. Smack that thing. Oh man, she hit that so hard. Dead bird. Good girl. I can actually see it. It's right there. Dead bird. Dead bird. It's okay. Okay. Dead bird. Okay. 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 Dead bird. Okay. That's a good girl. Good girl, Stormy. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yay. Good girl. Yay. Good girl. Oop. Okay. We got another one. Okay, let's go.
I found the other bird myself, and that was fine because I actually like to keep these situations simple when I'm trying to establish kind of a rapport with a dog in the field. Ideally, I like to have a simple point, shot, and retrieve that keeps everything simple and easy to understand for the dog so they can gain some confidence. Okay, Stormy's got some more lockdown here. Unfortunately, right as I was getting to the birds, my GoPro battery died. Alright, my battery ran out right in the middle of that point, right as they were right on the ground. Got one down. Stormy's working on a retrieve right now.
Atta girl, dead bird. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
This is another really long sequence here, so it seems like she's got the track, and it's just her pointing, me getting out in front of her, she relocates, and we repeat the whole process several times over. One thing about Stormy is she's cautious and she never puts up birds. I mean, like, never. From this point on, she has them locked down and she does not get closer to them without me in front of her. And the birds are still 100 yards away.
Dead bird. God dang, that was out there. She just tracked those about 250 yards. Dead bird. Dead bird. Hey, the girl. Good girl, Stormy. Good girl. Woohoo! Good girl. All right. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, baby. Good girl. Good job. Good girl. Good girl, yeah. You got your birds. My goodness, you tracked them for a mile. I'm gonna look at my track and see how far that was. All right, we got it figured up here. I know exactly where I started to flush, like walking in front of her and zigzagging trying to flush, and it was 244 yards that way. So I'm sure that was a combination of birds running and sending conditions and all that kind of stuff, but it's just like, man, that is a long point. Now she's on again here, and I pretty much skipped all the part where we track and point and track and point, and now she's got them locked down, and now I just have to see how far in front of her they are. Almost every time I can actually see birds on the ground before they flush in this area. So as I'm walking up here, I'm scanning around trying to find them, because if you don't walk right at them, they'll just let you walk by, or they'll like sneak off in the other direction or something. That one's dead, or still alive. Dead birds. The first one I poofed, but the second one hit the ground running. Dead bird. That one was pretty close. I can't mark anything out here because it all looks the same. There you go. Atta girl. Good girl, Stormy. Good girl. All right. Good girl. Good girl. Here. Hi, darling. That's a good girl. Yeah. Yeah, good girl. All right, that was more beautiful work. Basically, we're going along. She's hunting within 100, 200 yards of me. And I just see her, once again, just kind of throw her head up and start heading into the wind. Zigzag, 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 zigzag. About 150 yards. And when she stops, the birds are about 50, 60 yards in front of her. Pretty much every time. So, some great work. She's doing a really good job. Well, we're back at the truck, and yet again, we get a truck covey. Almost shot the truck too. Good girl, Stormy. Dead bird. Oh, you just missed it. Dead bird. Yeah, I got it. Right here. Yeah, good girl. Good girl, we got it. Oh, that's good girl. Yeah. Yeah. All right, another truck covey. Yeah, that's pretty good job. Yeah, that's awfully good, honey. Good job. Good job. So I knew this kind of chukar hunting existed, but I just never really found it for myself. You know, I was aware of the concept anyway, that chukar do exist on flat ground. This is that kind of stuff that like the old salty chukar hunters know about.
they all know the flat places to go to get birds. It's good to know that, you know, after I'm too old to climb those mountains, I might still be able to shoot wild chukar and find them in places that are still wild. So it's good to know. This has been an interesting deal. But I got to tell you, I don't know how to put this exactly, but there's a little something lost. There's a little shine that's off of chukar hunting when you're not in the mountains. It's just not the same. I mean, it's still fun, it's still cool, but it's not quite the same.
I've got plenty more footage, so if you'd like to see more from this trip or any other one, you've got to check out my Patreon page, where I post exclusive bonus episodes along with other videos about gear, trip planning, e-scouting, training, and any other subject we can come up with that might help the traveling hunter. Get access to all that extra content at patreon.com/Eric Forrester.